Good morning, everybody. My name is Cody, and welcome to our Facebook Live classes. Today I'm going to be bringing you core power class. A couple things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a nice open space when you're exercising today. You're free of clutter. Also, if you have a water bottle, you can keep that within reaching distance of you. Make sure you have some good supportive shoes on and comfortable clothing for today's class. If this is your first time exercising with us, just keep in mind you want to operate at your own pace and take breaks as needed. So today we're going to start out with a little mobility warm-up. So feet can go to about hip width distance apart. We're going to bring hands to our hips, and let's just start with some very gentle hip circles. We're going to drive the hips around in a circular motion here, staying slow and controlled. And let's bring those hip circles back in the opposite direction now. Good, and when you're ready, we're going to return to center. Next, we'll elevate arms to about chest height. We're going to rotate through your torso side to side as we alternate directions. And if you'd like, you can straighten the arms out and continue that movement. Good, and when you're ready, we'll reset back to center. Let's just relax your arms to your sides now. We're going to shrug the shoulders up to your ears and roll them down and back. Make sure you're breathing as we're going through these mobility drills. Good, let's get one more shoulder shrug and we'll relax the shoulders. Great job, shake them on out. All right, next I'm going to have us reach our arms out in front of us. We're going to pull those fingers up towards the ceiling and then push them down and curl the fingers towards you. Just loosening these wrists and forearm muscles up. So we're going up to the ceiling and then pulling those fingers down towards the underside of your forearm. Good, let's get one more here. Good, and shake the arms on out. All right, so next we're going to start with a little movement. Let's just begin with a light march here. Feet are hip width distance apart. You can sway the arms at your sides. We're going to drive one knee up at a time as you alternate. Good, bring your march stance out wide next. Let's go with a nice wide stance as we continue with this movement. Good, and slowly making your way back to hip width distance apart. All right, we're going to take it to a little side-to-side movement next. So from our march, let's now move left and right. We're going to alternate sides, and let's take your arms. We're going to reach right across your body. Very good. Let's bring the hands to your hips. And now we're going to curl one heel up behind, continuing to alternate sides. And with this heel curl, if you'd like, we can add in a bicep curl with each repetition. Good. Hands can come back to the hips, and let's return to that side step. Next, just with one arm, let's reach right across your body. Again, alternating sides. And you can stay here if this works for you. If you'd like more of a reach, we're going to reach that arm down and across. Good. Bring that reach back straight across. And if you'd like, you can go up and across towards the ceiling. Very good. Let's bring hands back down and relax them and slow the pace of your feet down. Good. Feet are hip width distance apart. All together, we're going to get a big inhale as you sweep the floor with your arms. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale down. One more time. Bend through the knees. We'll sweep the floor, inhaling up. exhaling down. Great job. We're going to start out with some strength movements next. So we'll be performing 3 standing movements. We're going to start with our squats today. So feet are going to go to hip width distance apart. We can bring hands to the hips or keep them in front of you, whatever works. And we're going to slowly sink through the lower body. Our knees track our ankles. We're going to sit down and back and come back to a nice tall standing position. We'll do this for 30 seconds here, and let's begin. Down to that squat and stand nice and tall. You can go at whatever pace you would like. Feel free to slow it down if that works for you. Making sure we're sitting down and back. Those knees aren't riding forward. Got just about 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the top. Great job. Shake it out if you need to. We're going to move on to some lunges next. So I'm going to show you from the side here. We're going to start with our right leg planted towards the front with our left leg. We're going to take a big step back. We'll bend at both knees, coming down to the bottom, return to the top, and we're going to switch sides. So let's alternate back and forth. Reverse lunges. We'll spend 30 seconds here. If you'd like a challenge, try to rotate towards that lead knee. We come down, we rotate, and then the opposite side. Feel free to stick with regular lunges. You don't have to add that rotation. Or please do if you'd like. Got just about 5 seconds to go here. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it on out if you need to. We're going to move on to a straight-legged deadlift next. So, take a big deep breath here. We're going to plant your left foot down on the ground. We're going to be hinging through our hips. So, slight bend to this load-bearing knee here. We're going to slowly hinge through the hips. That back foot can elevate. Hands can go towards the floor. And we reset. For a modification, that back foot will stay on the ground. And we'll return to that top position. You can always keep something sturdy beside you, a chair or a counter. But we'll do about 30 seconds on each side. Whether you're elevating this foot, reaching towards the floor each time, or that back foot just slides along the ground. Again, do what works for you. We got just about 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Good. Reset. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Right foot down, slight bend to that knee, and here we go right into our movement. Straight-legged deadlift, reaching back. Remember, you can have that object at your side to keep a nice sturdy hold, or that back foot never even has to leave the ground. Just make sure we're hinging through that hip, engaging the hamstrings and the glutes and the core. It's a great balance exercise. Just have 5 seconds to go on this side. And 3, 2, 1. Get our last repetition. Return to a nice tall stand. Great job. We're going to cycle back and go through each of those one more time. So back to our squats. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hands can be in front or at your hips. We're going to sink through this lower body here as we come down for our first squat, round 2. Back to the top. Here we go for 30 seconds. Remember, take breaks as needed. Feel free to work at your own pace. You're looking great. We just got 10 seconds left with this movement. And 3, 2, 1. Great job. Shake it on out. Moving to our side again, we're going to go back to our reverse lunges. So let's start with that left foot planted in front. Your trail leg. We're going to step back, bending at both knees. Back to the top. Opposite side goes in motion. Remember, if you'd like the challenge, we rotate towards that lead knee. Rotate with each rep. Or if not, hands can stay at the side or on a nice sturdy object beside you if you have that available. Hang tough with me. We got 10 seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1. Great job. Bring it back to the top. Our last movement standing here is our single leg deadlift. So once again, nice big breath. And we're going to start out with your right foot down on the ground. Slight bend to that knee. And again, we're going to hinge through these hips as this left foot glides back or stays planted. So let's hinge through the hip. That foot can stay on the ground. We come back nice and tall, or we elevate it. You pick what works for you. We got 30 seconds on each side. Good. Make sure that core is engaged. We want to keep a nice level body as we're hinging forward. Hang tough. We got 5 seconds to go. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Shake it on out. We're just going to switch sides. So left foot down, slight bend to that knee. This right foot we're going to reach up and back as we hinge through the hip, and we'll spend 30 seconds on the opposite side now. Again, this is a great move for your balance. You can modify it with that object, sturdy object beside you, where that trail leg never touches, or always stays on the ground, sorry. We have just 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. We'll get our last repetition here and come back to a nice tall stance. Great job with those 3 movements. If you need a drink, feel free to grab it. We're going to be down on the mat next, so make a nice open space. If you have a mat, feel free to use it, or we'll get down on the ground. We are going to start on our backs today, so take your time getting there. All right, once you're all set up on the ground, we're going to start with our knees bent, feet are down on the mat, and let's just roll back to our backs, very slow and controlled. All right, arms go to your sides. We're going to walk those heels to meet us. Next, we're going to start with some glute bridges. So, what I'm going to have us do, we're going to press through our heels as we lift our hips up to the ceiling, and we control down. So we're going to continue with this movement for about 30 seconds. If you'd like a challenge, elevate one foot up to the ceiling, and we'll keep this movement going. I'll let you know when to switch sides if you're going to try this single-legged version. If you're doing single leg, let's switch to the opposite side. We're halfway home. Hang tough with me here. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And control back down to your mat. Relax the legs. Great job. Next, we're going to move on to a dead bug. So let's elevate your feet. We have a nice 90-degree angle here with the legs. Arms reach up to the ceiling. This is our starting position. We're going to take our left leg and our right arm. We're going to slowly extend. The opposite 2 arms are staying still. We reset. Opposite side goes now. So the key here is 2 limbs stay in that starting position while the other 2 extend. Our back is nice and flat to your mat. Our core is engaged. We're going to keep this going for about 20 more seconds. You guys are doing awesome. Hang in there. Got just 5 seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1. Great job. Let's bring the feet back down to your mat. Wonderful work. With our next movement, we're going to take a look at some crunches. So I'm going to give you two options today. Option one, we can cross the arms over your body, and we're just going to crunch up far enough to get your shoulder blades off the mat and control back down. So there's option one. If you'd like more of a challenge, we can elevate the feet, we can bring the hands around the ears, and you can bring your elbow to your opposite knee as you alternate sides with a bicycle crunch. So continue doing whatever version works for you. We'll spend 20 more seconds here, and let's give it all you got. Remember, you can keep both feet down and continue with this option. If you're fatiguing, you can always go back to this. We got just about 5 seconds to go. You got it. And 3, 2, 1. Great job. Let's relax back down to the mat. Arms to your sides. Legs will straighten out nice and flat to the mat. All right, great job. We're going to move on to a flutter kick next. So we're going to keep ourselves nice and flat to your mat. With our legs, we have two options. Option one, you can just lift one foot at a time as you alternate sides. If you'd like more of a challenge, keep both feet elevated the whole time as you do a short, choppy flutter kick. And if you'd like even more of a challenge, we can peel those shoulder blades off the mat. Arms can stay across or at the sides. And we'll continue with that flutter kick. We got 20 seconds left here. Do what you can. Hang tough. 10 seconds. You got it. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Once again, let's bend your knees. Feet will come back to the mat. All right, for our next movement, we have a couple options again. So option one, we can keep both feet planted on the ground as you windshield wipe those legs side to side. Again, you can make it a little more difficult by elevating the feet, keeping the knees bent, and going side to side. Our shoulder blades stay flat to the mat as we continue with this movement. And if you'd really like a challenge, legs stay straight, and we continue alternating left and right. Pick which option works for you. We got about 20 seconds left here. If you're fatiguing, remember you can always bend the knees. We got 3, 2, 1, and set the feet back to your mat. Great job. All right, our last one before we move to a seated position. We're going to stay flat on our back. Let's extend the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to try to keep them as straight as we can. Arms are going to reach up to the ceiling. We're going to be trying to aim up towards our toes with our hands. So you're going to curl up, reach for the toes, bring the shoulder blades back to the mat. You can always bend the knees and try that same movement, or keep the legs straight. Again, pick what works for you here. You can always just reach to your knees, your shins, or the whole way up to your feet if you'd like. We got 10 seconds to go. And hang tough. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a rest. Feet come back to your mat. And when you are ready, we are going to move up to a seated position here. And I'll face you for these next two movements. All right, so let's find a nice comfortable seated position. We are going to bring the knees together and feet together in front of you. We have a nice bend to the knees. We're going to be doing some Russian twists next. So let's bring our hands together. We're going to be alternating side to side. So you're going to reach down and across, come back to middle, opposite side. So let's continue going back and forth. If you'd like a challenge, you can always elevate the feet. We're going to spend about 15 seconds more here. Remember, if you need the rest, drop the feet down, continue the movement. If you're really feeling it today, you can keep them elevated the whole time. You have 3, 2, 1. Good job. Return to center. We're going to do one more seated movement. We're going to be trying some in and outs with the legs. So once again, find a nice tall spine in our seated position. Arms will come to your sides. With our legs, feet and knees stay together. I'm going to give you 2 options. Option 1, each time we extend, we can tap the feet on the ground and pull the knees back in. If you'd like more of a challenge, we keep the feet elevated as we do these in and outs. We're going to continue the movement here for about 20 more seconds. Do what you can. And remember, you can tap down each time or stay elevated. Hang tough. We got 5 seconds to go. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Take a rest. When you're ready, we're going to move to a tabletop position. So we will find those hands placed right below your shoulders. Knees go right below your hips. We're going to start with a little bird dog here to begin. So let's take your right arm. We're going to reach it to the front. Left leg, we're going to kick behind you. Reset, opposite side. Good. So you can continue alternating like so. If you'd like more of a challenge, we go elbow to knee in between each repetition. Find what works for you here. As you pull elbow to knee, really focus on that belly button pulling up to your spine. We're looking great. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Reset to the mat for me. Great job. When you're ready, we're going to curl your toes under from this position. Hands stay planted on the mat. We're going to do a tabletop hold. So, if you're feeling up for it today, dig those toes into the ground. You're just going to lift the knees an inch or 2 off the mat, and we'll hold here. Our back should be nice and flat. Core is engaged. We're just going to try to spend about 15 more seconds in this position. If you need the rest, drop the knees down. But if not, let's continue holding. Just 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're going to move next into a front plank. So you can make your way down to your stomach with slow control. Our front plank can be done with elbows on the mat or up to your hands. That's up to you which option you pick. You can always drop your knees down to take a little active rest and just lift back up when you're ready to rejoin us. We're going to spend 40 seconds in this position. I want you to do what you can. Try to push yourself. We're getting close to the end. You got it. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, and front plank away. And as we've done previously, if you'd really like a challenge, try to transition from your elbows up to your hands. And we'll just continue alternating. And if you're not interested, you can always just hold our plank. Remember, knees can drop towards the mat if you need that rest. We have 10 seconds left. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Take a rest. I'm going to slowly bring you down flat to your stomach. And then slowly extend the arms. Legs are extended. And we're going to move into a swimmer movement next. So we're going to start with your right arm, left leg. Let's lift off the ground. You're going to reset. The opposite 2 limbs lift next. So we're going to alternate back and forth, slow and controlled. Your gaze can be right at the top of your mat. And then just continue with this swimmer movement for about 20 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Take a rest and slowly make our way back up to that tabletop position. Once again, let's make sure hands align right below the shoulders, knees align right below your hips. We're going to do some cat-cow breathing here. So let's inhale as you press your belly button towards the mat. We slightly lift the head. And then exhale as you pull belly button to spine. And we're going to continue alternating these two positions, inhaling and exhaling. Go at your own pace. Let's just do one more cycle of each breath and return to a neutral position when you're ready. I'm going to have us point our toes in towards each other. Walk your knees towards the edge of your mat or just a little wider than hip width distance. We're going to slowly sink back to our heels, and arms can reach forward or bend, whatever works for you. We're just going to hold this child's pose stretch. So you can take some good deep breaths as you hold this position. Your forehead can slowly relax towards the mat. And just take some time here to take some good deep breaths. Start relaxing the body. You guys all did great today. Give me one more big deep breath. And great job. You can slowly roll back up to tabletop position. And then let's swing those legs out in front as we return to a seated position next. We're going to either cross the legs in front of you, or you can keep them straight, whatever works for you. Let's take our left hand. We're going to go across to your right knee. That right arm comes behind you. Big inhale, nice and tall, and exhale as you add a little twist. Wonderful job. We return to center. Right arm to left knee and reverse sides. Big inhale to stay nice and tall. Exhale to add a little rotation. Great job. Let's slowly make our way back to center. We're going to extend the legs now if they aren't already. We're going to pull those toes towards us, engaging our hamstrings, and we're going to reach up and out towards your toes to hold a hamstring stretch. And you can hold the toes, you can always just lightly grip around your ankles, or even just hinging forward, pulling your toes back. You might feel that stretch in the back of your leg. We're just going to hold here for 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Great job. All right, relax your arms at your sides. All together, we're going to inhale those arms up. Big breath. Exhale as we bring them back down towards the ground. One more time. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale as you reach the arms back down to your sides. Let's bring those arms out wide. We'll point the thumbs up to the ceiling. We're going to pull back as far as you can with the arms. Open that chest, open the shoulders up. Exhale as you wrap yourself up with a nice big squeeze. Give yourself a big pat on the back. You guys did excellent today. Thank you for joining me in the Willow Valley Community's fitness team with Core Power today. A reminder, tomorrow we will have yoga at 10 a.m., so feel free to join. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take it easy.